Hi, welcome again to the Louise YouTube channel. I'm moving on from the Lacy papers that I was doing, the whole Lacy papers, and I've developed the idea, not something that I would do particularly, although I'm sure it's going to spur off loads of ideas for other possibilities. It's really something that I thought was so nice, I had to share it. So it's making these gorgeous models out of this lacy paper, out of this tissue paper and threads that I've been doing, and they end up being really substantial, translucent, so the light comes through them, and actually have a sort of form. They can sort of be moulded, so they're threads and papers. So I've made a little body for my butterfly, and it can actually be sewn onto it, because it'll sew through the threads and it'll stay firm and it'll stay fixed. And these are just wonderful for both for making paper flowers and so on, but also for sticking into sketchbooks and sticking onto collages. They're beautiful. So I hope you enjoy it. Please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks very much.
Okay then, let's get going. So I've made these beautiful butterflies. You fix the body to the bottom, and this is just one idea utilising this technique. You can go on and do your own ideas and develop it. Once you've experienced it and seen what it's like, you'll realise there's quite a lot of possibilities with all this lot. And the leaves were lovely, they were crispy and they felt like autumn leaves. Okay, so I started off by doing a little sketch that I could then copy, and I've put in the description below a link and download the sketch and then use those to copy if you want to. What I did was lay the cellophane over the image and fix it down with masking tape, then put the cellulose glue onto the cellophane and then lay the tissue paper down on top. That way the tissue paper doesn't move when you start applying the threads. I had some lovely threads left over. Make sure your cellulose glue is lovely and mixed up. Apply it all over your piece of tissue paper and then start laying down your threads. This I'm doing here with my fingers, but in the past, in other videos, which I will put a link to up above, I use a brush as well, because I mean it gets stuck to your fingers and it gets stuck to everything. And then it's just a question of the fiddly sort of parts of adding all the threads in along the lines that you've got on your drawing. And don't worry too much if they're not perfect at this point. You can even them all out with your paintbrush at any point and see whether they're a bit too short. You see, you just bring the threads down to meet it. Again, nothing has to be perfect, and you can put the glue on the threads first before you put them down so that they are a bit more tacky, so that they actually stay in place a bit more. It's looking a bit scruffy at the moment, but wait a while and I'll show you that I neaten it out with my brush at the end before I put the tissue paper down. And this is lovely because if the tissue paper becomes ruckly or creased or anything, it doesn't matter, because it sort of adds to the veiny type look of a butterfly's wing. It works really well. Same with the leaves. So I repeated it and did two. I don't think it matters, like you don't have to reverse it, because you can turn it over once it's finished. You can use the other side. I don't think it matters which side you use, because ultimately it's more or less the same. There is a slight difference between the two sides, and you might want to consider that and turn your image the other way, print it out so it's reversed, because of course you want two opposite sides, not two wings that are the same. So again, look, you'll see I just tidy it up at the end. Then I apply cellulose glue to the other side of the tissue paper, so that I'm not disturbing the threads, but so that I've got enough glues and stuff that the tissue paper sticks down on top of it, and I use a soft brush with yet more cellulose glue to fix it all down with. This was some leaves that I'd done before, and I'm using a soft brush with cellulose glue to get glue all over it. The leaves I'd done, they'd dried, so I didn't have to be too careful, and I could apply the glue to the leaf side. Got loads of glue on there. And again, this is a patch. You always think, oh no, I haven't got enough paper, but you can patch it. It doesn't show. And that one was with rice paper. So these are 2 leaves that I did, but this was on tissue paper. It's exactly the same effect, and there are leaf images on your little piece that you can print out. And once they're dry, don't try and cut them out before they're dry. Once they're dry, you can cut them out. And I put the black threads through the butterfly ones because I thought the threads would look better, but I think white threads would look really nice as well. And you can see that they're substantial. They are pretty hard wearing, and they get more and more hard wearing as they go along. And this was the body, so I just wrapped threads around a simple piece of fairly stiff paper until it was a nice shape that I liked. And you can do it as rounded or as flat as you like. So the next bit is to start painting them, which is the really good fun bit. So again, put them on a piece of cellophane, because the dampness that you're going to apply with the paint activates the glue again and they become sticky. Don't put it on too thick, because you sort of obliterate the threads if you do that. It's nicer if it's put on quite watery and quite thin, and of course the threads in the paper really absorb the pigment. The effect is just wonderful. And this time you really enjoy it. You know, you can see the veins coming out of the actual creases of the tissue paper as well. And you see how I've put too much paint on there. It's better if it's thin and translucent, and you're allowing the whole translucency of the product you're making to come through. But it's up to you. You know, you can paint it however you like. It's one of the joys of it, isn't it? You can go on and decide how you want to do it. If it's still thin, of course, you get this translucency at the end. And you'll see that it has this lovely effect when it gets absorbed by the threads. And the other thing I found was, crikey, they actually make really good printing templates as well. So I'm going to do another video on making printing templates with them. I've painted both sides of them, and I'll put them to one side to dry. At this time they're quite thin and flimsy, but equally they can be pretty scrubbed when you paint them. They're not delicate by any, by any stretch. They're not delicate. So I just put those to one side. I'm going to just quickly show you how I painted the body. I think I darkened this up quite a lot as I went along. And I didn't use black, because black can be such a dead colour. So I wanted something dark, but without just taking the sort of joy of the colour away. So I've used quite a lot of sort of dark blues, emerald greens, and dark reds, to sort of form a grey-blue piece. Right, so now to do the butterfly wings, and I wanted to do a orange butterfly with blue on the eyes, and of course you have to do the opposite from one side to the other. So if you're doing a mark, it has to be back to front on the other side. And what's really nice about all this as well is how it actually paints. You can glaze it, you can layer it, you can add one layer, let it dry, and put some more, and you again get really nice nuances of colour just by, you know, taking your time over it. So I've just used a scarlet and an acid yellow and a warm yellow for the oranges and the yellows, and I wanted to keep it bright. You know, the whole thing is that it's fun, isn't it, and joyous. Well, that's what I thought. And then some blue and this on the eyes. It's a bit like a red admiral, but not completely like one. And then at the very end I just used the red just to make some sort of marks and highlights on it. It just seemed to add detail and really worked with the image. And of course when these dry, they dry quite a lot duller. Oh yeah, I darkened up my little body because I thought it needed to go with the actual colours on the wings. These were two that I'd done that I decided I'd try with blue. They haven't been cut out yet, so I can just go over the edges. You know, you get those beautiful blue, electric blue butterflies. I was going to give them a go, see how that worked. Then, once your butterfly's wings are dry, you can paint the other side, but as well, which I think I had done, but then you add the acrylic medium. But then you add the gloss acrylic medium, which appears to make the tissue paper even more translucent, but also adds another layer of it, and it becomes extremely durable and well, quite hard. Not hard as in brittle. When it's dry, it has a really lovely effect. It makes really quite a durable product. So again, just seeing what they look like as well. And I think I'd then go ahead and quickly do the leaves for you. But I've really speeded this up, so I'm sorry if it's too fast, but all I'm doing is applying the gloss medium. And I was sort of letting you see how it all goes and what it all looks like. And also, I suppose, to show you that it's been done, that I'm doing it for this particular video. There you go, there's the leaves done. So this is the end product when it's dried, and you just put them together. So fit the wings on how you want them, and they suddenly become this sort of 3D model because it has the depths of the wings beneath it. You can sew it, you could sort of fix a bit of wire on underneath. You can compile it how you like. I was just showing you the other wings, but I would have done some blue wings for that as well. You could put them on a mobile, you can add them to collages. It's really a video just to inspire you, to set you off on a journey. Thank you for watching and hope to see you again. Oh, please remember to like and subscribe. Bye.